From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning as LALATE is back, and boy, what 3 days I missed. The biggest week there was heats up this week as a massive number came in on Friday and shook the markets, the biggest number we've seen of the entire summer. What was it, and what does that number mean for you? We'll go over why that number that came in on Friday, the non-farm payroll job creation number, shook the markets, changed the entire analysis the entire summer, and why this week that's coming upon us will be the biggest week, because guess what happens on August 10th? The CPI print for the month of July is released. That number is going to go higher. Boy, folks, we've never seen a week like this. Plus, we'll go over why. Get ready for some great news. Your benefits are going up the highest of a generation. We got the confirmation minutes ago, late Saturday. One of the Fed governors said that inflation will be with us potentially through all next year. Wow, that means your benefits are going to go up a lot. About $5,000. We're going to go over the big money across the board. Plus, when you get those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state, you need to get that money, because this is a confusing economy. You're never going to see a broadcast like this one. I just taped the afternoon show. Folks, it's a confusing economy. And this economy is unlike anything we've seen before. You want to get those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state, because analysts cannot even agree whether we're in a recession or not, whether inflation has peaked or not, whether the Fed governors are going to raise interest rates in September. I'll have the big data today, and we'll also have the analysis for you in this major recording. But folks, I've never had a recording quite like what I'm expecting all today, with 75% of the S&P companies beating on earnings, but I'll explain to you why that's not potentially good news across the board. We'll have the numbers on Friday and why they're so different than the numbers on Thursday. Plus, we'll go over what to expect for this week as well. That's why you have to get a 4 stimulus check that is in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, go get it as well. And go get some other analysts from last Friday's data, because last Friday's data, you're going to see this recording and you're going to feel like whiplash. It's just unbelievable what happened between now and last Friday. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, I'm back, and I'm excited for all this big detail for you. It's a big day from the shores of Santa Monica. Let's get to the breaking news on a big morning. Breaking details. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing. The breaking details we're going to go over one at a time for this beautiful, beautiful big day, and it all starts right now. And go in there, everybody. I hope we have a beautiful day. The biggest week there was is going to heat up this coming week as the August 10th number being released. So that CPI comes in. That is the CPI read for the month of July. And folks, if you missed the details while I was gone, well, boy, I missed as well. I'm going to go over in this recording why everything just went left and right while I was disappearing for 3 days in the hospital. How the latest details you need to know across the board in today's recording, your big money, your stimulus, everything you need to know, and including those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. Become a member. Congratulations, 100 members that were in that live feed that started on Thursday when I last with you. 100 new members in one show alone. And yes, I have a special offer for you. I'm going to have the membership newsletter tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Pacific Standard Time. I know it's a Sunday. It's usually not delivered on Sunday, but I feel guilty you could not get that newsletter Thursday, Friday, this last week because of my absence. I'll have it for you tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But let's start with what happened on Thursday. Folks, it's very confusing, and what I'm going to slow it in for you with is to understand that the data is very easy to understand, but the analysis all contradicts each other, one across the board. And I got to tell you, it's all really good news for you, for beneficiaries, but not good news for you with a recession. Let me go over what happened, and I got to tell you 3 things that are going to go on in this video. Actually, all the videos today. The notes that I'm bringing on camera are voluminous, much larger than a normal recording. Number two, I've never had a recording where I have so much data, a lot of data, and then I have analysts that are absolutely disagreeing left and right on the same data. So let's start with what caused the fissure, the break, the confusion. On Thursday, we had the new jobless claims number. As you know, every Thursday morning we have the newly unemployed people who claim unemployment. It surged to the highest levels we've seen of 2022, 260,000 new jobless claims. So not a particularly good number. More people claiming unemployment than we've ever seen this year, highest number since mid-2021. That's what we thought the labor market was on Thursday. And we all knew, because I was teasing all last week, that Friday was another labor number. That Friday was going to be the non-farm payroll job creation number. How many jobs the economy created in the month of July? I got to tell you, if you got the sense from me, no one really expected this number to be much of a news story. I didn't really tease it that much. I'm like, it's going to come out on Friday, big deal. And no one really saw this as anything that was going to be a major event. Folks, this number that came out on a Friday, which of course I was not recording that day, is hideously the most important data number that has been released this entire year, with the exception of the May CPI number. It is so critically important because it basically tells you where this economy is going for the next 3 years. It also tells you some analysts get it really wrong, and other analysts still can't agree upon the data. Let's go over what the number said, the data, and then we'll go over everything that spiraled out of control after the data came out. On Friday, the job creation number was released. Wall Street was looking for 258,000 jobs created in this economy for the month of July. The number came in at 528,000. 528,000. Yes, major beat, higher than Wall Street expected. We generated double the number of jobs, created more jobs in the month of July, double what Wall Street expected. But that's not really the number that caused the shocker. It's one of the numbers in there, which was the unemployment rate. If you've been with this channel for, God, I think I've been covering the importance of this number for 2 years. You and I know that the Federal Reserve's number one number is this number, with a percentage of unemployment, the unemployment rate. The White House, Janet Yellen, of course, was previously Fed governor. This is a hideously important number, and for me it is as well. But you and I have been tracking the Thursday number, the jobless claims number, because we didn't expect this number to change that much, the Friday number. Well, here it came in. In that Friday number, we also got the unemployment rate that Wall Street is expecting to be 3.6%. It was 3.5%. This is the lowest unemployment rate since 1969. Meaning there is less unemployed people in this U.S. economy that we've seen for an entire generation. Now, right this moment. Oh boy, no one saw this coming. Strong labor, hideously strong labor, if you go with that number as your determining factor. And most people do. And this is a shocker. So let's go to some analysis. Let's go to some data, more data. Wage growth went higher. That grew a 0.5 percentage point, now up 5.2% for the same per year to date. When Wall Street is looking at a 4.9% increase, but here comes the analysis, and it comes from Liz Saunders, chief investment strategist at Charles Schwab, this equity trading platform. There's no way to take the other side of this. There's a lot of but. There's no other way to think this is positive for the market, the Fed perspective. For the economy, this is good news. Give us 2 minutes, and later in this video, I'll show you how this is horrible news. So I disagree vehemently with her. This is horrible news. I'll tell you in a second why. So where did the jobs come from? Leisure and hospitality. No surprise to you and I, because I was featuring Carnival Cruises, Hilton Hotels, all beating on their earnings last week because they are doing massive business. So they added a lot of jobs. No surprise there. And professional services did well. Healthcare did really well. No surprise there. I featured them all last week. All the healthcare companies beating on those numbers. Retail did add a very few jobs. No surprise there as well, as retail's not doing well. These numbers are now the best numbers for unemployment since pre-COVID. So we're back before COVID, we're actually back into the 1960s numbers. This is how good this number is. Here we go for another laugh a minute. On Thursday, when I last recorded for you, I told you that analysts on Wall Street, 70% of them, believe that the Fed governors, when they next meet in September, will do a 50 basis point interest rate spike, and that will be the final interest rate spike, and then inflation has peaked. I said I disagree with all 3 points. I said, 1, I don't believe inflation has peaked. Number 2, I believe the next meeting will be 75 basis point, much higher, and I believe there's going to be a lot more interest rate spikes. Why could I say that? Because we had Fed Governor Daly out of San Francisco and Fed Governor Bullard out of St. Louis that both said, who said we're done with interest rate spikes? We have a lot more to do. So I said, you got to listen to the Fed governors. They told you that they're doing a lot more. Well, what's the latest today? Today, it is swapped from 30% of Wall Street analysts and myself saying there's going to be a 75 basis point increase in September to 100% now agreeing with me. Oh, that feels so great. Yes, 100% now believe it's 75 basis point in September. And if you don't believe that, then let me give you the quote later in the second half of this video. One of the Fed governors spoke less than 24 hours ago. She said, it's absolutely going to be the same interest rate spike for the last meeting. I got it right again. There we go. It feels so good that in my absence, all those people that were betting somewhere else have now come to Camp LALATE on this one. Now, is this a recession by definition? Is this a recession or this is not a recession? Here we go. Analysis and data. First, data. We've had 2 negative quarters of GDP growth consecutively. Analysis. A recession is defined as 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. But analysts are today saying, some analysts, this is analysis, that this means there's definitely no recession. Hold a second. Hold a second, because I'm going to flip the page for you, and other analysts are saying what I'm saying. It's not only a recession, it's going to be a very bad recession now. Here are some of the quotes. The recession debate at this point is more academic than anything else. That's Saunders again from Schwab. We can't deny that growth is weakened, but at this point, it's only bringing up the 2 negative quarters of GDP growth. She's basically saying it's just academic. It's not really a recession. I disagree, and I'll show you in a second who also disagrees. If one thing I could teach you today, always go with the bond traders on their analysis. They never get it wrong. They never get it wrong. And I'll show you what they're going to say in just a second. Here it is right now. The recession. Here is the bond traders. The bond traders now believe that there will not only be a recession, but it'll be far more serious than initially thought. See how this quickly changed? We had on the page before this Saunders at Schwab saying it's just an academic recession, to now the bond traders saying, oh, it's a recession and it's going to be far more serious than initially thought. Where do we see the data for their support, the bond traders? The inversion curve. You don't need to know what an inversion curve is. If you do, I'll show you what it is in a second. But you don't have to know the significance of it. If you have an inversion curve, you have a recession. What has happened to that inversion curve since the Friday number came in? It's worse, the inversion curve. It's worse. The bond traders took the inversion curve and made it worse because they believe there's not only going to be a recession, it's going to be a much worse recession than initially thought. If you want to know what inversion curve, it's the inversion of the 2 and the 10-year Treasury bonds. They're now more inverted than they were when I last saw you on Thursday because they say it's going to be a much more serious recession. Here is the quote. Here's the analysis. Ian Legan, head of U.S. rate strategy at BMO, bond trading. This time, it was this inverted 2s and 10s, the 2-year notes and the 10-year notes. You have to go back to 2000. And that was a much more overall different rate environment. We got as inverted as negative 56 in that episode. They are saying, get ready, because this is going to get very bad very quickly. Legan, continuing his quote, my biggest takeaway from the depth of this inversion is that the market's confidence in the Fed credibility is high. The Fed is going to continue to hike rates. Told you so. Told you so. And this risk creates a bigger economic headwind that the economy can't handle, and we we end up tipping into a more significant recession. Told you. Now, let me pause because this fits here. I don't know where else to put it. Historically, recessions show strong labor markets or good labor markets at the beginning. The labor market in his recessions, these U.S. economies, prior recessions, U.S. economies, the labor market doesn't fall apart initially. The labor market is the last thing to fall apart in a recession. So any analyst that tells you it's a strong labor market, hence it's not a recession, that's not how recessions work. They've never worked that way. The labor market falls apart at the end of the recession, toward the end of the recession. They just fall apart at the front of the recession. Here is what equity traders, stock traders are trying to tell you as well. 75% of S&P companies beat on their earnings over the last 3 weeks. Should I end that graphic? Should I? You love that graphic. I like the graphic. Let's show the graphic. Should I stop using this graphic? There is no earnings recession anymore because 75% of S&P companies beat on their earnings over the last 3 weeks. Guess what? I'm not stopping the graphic. I'll tell you why. Here again is a half a story they're giving you. The companies said we're having problems with inflation. So instead of $10, we're giving you guidance that we may report earnings when we do in this month of August. Instead of 10, it's going to be 5. And guess what happens? It comes in at 6. That's not a good story. They guided downward because they saw problems around macroeconomic problems. They guided downward. Said 10, it's going to be 6. And then comes in at 7. That's not a good situation. So to say that they beat, well, they beat after downward guidance was delivered. Okay, here's the quote you want to listen to. It is the federal governor of one of the big Fed governors, Bowman. And she said that, she spoke yesterday, and she said the following, that based upon what's going on, my view is that similar size increases for the Federal Reserve are on the table since inflation declining in a consistent, meaningful, and lasting way has not happened, and we need to see that. Oh boy, there's a lot on that quote. First, your benefits are going to go through the roof, folks. Your benefits are going up because she says we have not peaked with inflation. Who also said that? Inflation's not peaked. Number 2, she says we need to have the same interest rate spikes we've already had. Who said that? 75 basis point. Again, September. And she said, until we see inflation coming down, because it hasn't, we're going to keep on doing the 75 basis point increase. That means your inflation is not peaked, and that means your benefits are going up the best of a generation. I got to tell you, if you put a lot in her quote, and I do as well, it's because it was just yesterday, you may not have to worry about waiting out 3 months for those CPI numbers. Let's go to that raise of your benefits starting right now. Lynn, Glenn, Diane, all the viewers were asking me, do we have to wait through July, August, and September's CPI numbers to know where definitely our benefits are going to go up a lot? If you believe Bowman, you don't have to wait anymore because inflation, in her opinion, is going to continue for a long time. I didn't run the second half of the quote. Here's the second half of the quote. My view is that similar size increases should be on the table until you see inflation coming down. Then she says, there's a significant risk of high inflation into next year for necessities include fuel, housing, and vehicles. So she says that inflation has a significant risk of staying with us into 2023. My friends, we don't have to worry that inflation will be with us for July, August, and September if her belief is accurate. Let's go over the details across the board. We were waiting to see the numbers for July, August, and September and what's going on. First, let me explain to you what's at issue. If you've been with the channel for a few weeks, you know what's going on, but let me do this for everyone else that's new to this channel. Your benefits are determined by inflation. And what's at issue? Your benefits are tied to something called COLA, C-O-L-A, and it's determined by another number. That is the CPI-W, and that is an inflationary number, but only for 3 months. The month of July released August 10th. Yes, it's just days away. The August number released in September 10th, and then the September number released on October 10th. And what you and I knew was we needed to watch the inflation that was very high in the month of June, May, June, stays high in the month of July, August, and September. But if you read her quote, she says there's a very big chance that inflation is going to be at these levels into 2023. not just 90 days out, 9 months out, a year out. That is incredible, great news. So how much are your benefits going to go up? How much are they going to go up? I'll go more into detail on this on afternoons today at 3 o'clock. It's a brand new show. Your benefits are going up the biggest of a generation if she's accurate. Let's go over why and how this works. Your benefits are going up an incredible amount because, don't forget to become a member. It's all in the membership newsletter. Because what's at issue is that inflation has not peaked, number one. Number two, Bauman is basically saying inflation is going to stay at these levels for a long time. And that is for you. Your benefits are going to go up if July, August, and September read stays high as across the board. How much? About $5,000. First, is it automatic? Yes. Direct deposit in the mail, however you receive your benefits check. Is it you? Yes. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits. Same amount? No. Some people get more than $5,000. Some will get less. Everyone will have the same percentage across the board. So, folks, this is a great revelation for my beneficiaries. If Bauman's correct, and I believe she is, your inflationary rates are your inflation is going to be with us for a while. And that we may not have to wait out 3 more months of data to get that confirmation across the board. Wow. Now, you also have to get a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Because if inflation's going higher, then yes, your cost of goods that you buy in the stores are going to be higher across the board. So inflation is not good for everyone and not good for everything. And that's why you want to become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. In the big second half of this recording, we're going to go over these forced stimulus checks in every U.S. state. But first, let's go over a preview of those forced stimulus checks starting right now. First, where did they come from? Second, do I qualify? They were done by the President of the United States by executive action in the month of March. It's about $100,000 of checks you can go get. We're going to go over how for you to get in the big second half. Done by executive action, Joseph Biden. By him in the month of March, you qualify. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, go get it as well. It's huge. There is no other forced stimulus. It is here. This is that. And we're going to go over it one at a time in the big second half. Go into this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino, VIP. And become a member to get that newsletter, which is recorded early in this recording. I'm going to deliver it to you tonight if you're watching the show live on Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I'm guilty I couldn't deliver it to you on Thursday and Friday. One of the benefits of the membership is the membership newsletter, and in there is the worksheets. And it's this, a series of pages, a PDF. You can print it out on your phone or download it and take notes on a separate piece of paper. What do we learn today? Oh, boy. There's a lot more coming up in the big second half. Inflation. If you believe Bauman, which she's saying the same thing I'm saying, inflation's not peaked, it's still going up. And if you believe her risk assessment, it could be with us into 2023. This is the big raise of your benefits across the board. Number two, recession. You're going to see in the big second half why the bond traders, the oil traders, and yours truly all believe the recession is definitely here. That's going to be far more serious than initially thought. Number three, labor. Strong labor numbers on one side, weak numbers on a labor number on the other side. What's going on? Thursday, the new jobless claims number. Worst number since the pandemic. 2021, I should say. 260,000 new jobless claims. Horrible number. We thought the labor was falling apart. Then Friday, the non-farm payroll numbers, good number, but it's the interior number that's critical. The percentage of unemployed people, the best since 1969. And that's the headline labor number we look at in the Federal Reserve and you and I. And then Federal Reserve, laughing again, here we go. Those analysts saying 70% saying it was wrong on Thursday. And now today, 100% saying I'm correct. It feels good to be loved. And thank you for your nice messages. Well, Scott, I really appreciate that as well. It was really, really quite warming trying to go through all your social media messages one at a time. I haven't gotten through them still yet. The next page of the worksheet is this one. It's a place for you to keep track on the stimulus that you applied for. It's a critical worksheet. This is all unique stuff to LALATE. And one viewer forgot she had taken notes on it. Let me tell you some success stories. On Tuesday, one viewer got 14 months of rent. On Wednesday, one viewer got 12 months of utilities. And then the week before that, Spelly got check A and check C. Great news for him. And then the big news, one viewer got 80 to 100 checks from this channel 2 Thursdays ago. What happened? She got that email from state of Florida. Said, ma'am, you've been approved for check B? Wow, great news. What is that? Mortgage. Whoa, that's wonderful. How many months? A month? 2 months? No, 18 months. 18 months of mortgage. Folks, that's not thousands of dollars. That's tens of thousands of dollars. But it gets even better. When she applied for check B, she didn't only apply for more mortgage. She also applied for utilities. If it's 4 utilities plus mortgage, that's 5 checks times 18 months. That is approximately 80 to 100 checks she got because she became a member. Incredible news. You be that success story as well. Post your success story in the live chat, whether it's 1 check or 2 checks, $100 or $10,000. Post your success story because you inspire other people across the board. What do we know about the next page on this worksheet? That is the oil. The oil, we're going to go over that a little bit later in this recording, and then the benefit raises and student loan debt forgiveness, we'll go over that tonight on Evenings LA. In the big second half, we're going to go over the 2 items which are big issues. First, we're going to go over all these 4 stimulus checks one at a time for you to get. Then we'll go over what is going on with this analysis. Why are similarly situated analysts disagreeing so vehemently on this economy? And who should you rest your bets on? Half of them are saying no recession. The other half is saying, oh, there's a recession, and it's far more serious than initially thought. I'll go over what you need to know in the big second half, and we'll look at 2 elements, oil and bond traders. And they're both saying the same thing. Boy, what a big show it is. And I gotta tell you, I've never had a recording like this where there literally is so much data, and all I can think in my mind is get it in, go get it all in, because I don't want you to miss it. And if you miss this recording or any recordings today, there's going to be a lot of whiplash because you're going to say, but wait a second, on Wednesday, nope, you missed the Friday data for that non-farm payroll, which LA analyzed on Sunday. Live on air on mornings. In the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks. For you, go under this video, become a member. Go under this video and become a member. And congratulations to all the new wonderful members who joined in my absence while I was gone. Over 100 members in just one video. Welcome to all the new members. Thank you for all the returning members. And thank you for the members who renewed their membership during my absence as well. What do? You go under this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. And in the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible sums of money. As the toast is toasted, the butter is buttering. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Mornings LA continues live on air for August 7th, 2022.
If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right on air on this beautiful Sunday morning. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for all your wonderful comments in my absence. In the big second half, we're going to go over those four stimulus checks in every U.S. state in preview of Wednesday, when that July read for the CPI is released. My goodness! But you want to get these four stimulus checks in every U.S. state, because guess what's going on? Inflation is here, and debt spending is through the roof. We know that. And I believe that a recession is very pronounced and going to happen. We're going to go over all that analysis in just a second as we go over those four stimulus checks first. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, and Calcedo VIP. It was back in the month of March that the viewership of this channel said, LA, can you go find me some checks? And I did. These four stimulus checks are in every U.S. state. Done by executive action of Joseph Biden. I had two focuses for you. Big checks, big money, and also broad eligibility. And we got it. Approximately $100,000 over a series of different checks. I gave it lettering system. Number two, broad eligibility. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, own, rent, have children, not have children, go get it as well. Let's go over all these incredible checks, starting with the first check. It's Check A. It is $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. It's a wonderful check, and it's called the Weatherizing Grant Check. And that huge check is here. Oh my goodness. Go get it. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. How do you get it? You know the routine. Step one, become a member. Step two, get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday. But as I said earlier in this recording, it's Sunday, August 7th if you're watching live. And yes, I'll have a special print of that newsletter coming to you tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time across the board. Go down the newsletter till you find Check A. And there it is. Click the link. It sends you into the Nationwide website. And then go get it. Pounce and go get that credible check. Huge sums of money. Get it across the board. But you're not going to stop there yet. You can go get Check B. $15,000 to $80,000 across the board. Single individual, $75,000 less. Go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less. Go get it. How do you get it? Become a member. Join the channel. Welcome to the nearly 100 members who joined in just that live feed that was running when I was absent with you for 2 days. And welcome to all the returning members. And also thank you for all the members who upgraded from Purple Hawk to Purple Power. Go down that membership newsletter. You find Check B. Click the link that sends you into the Nationwide website. And there you go. And then go get that incredible Check B. But you're not stopping there yet, because guess what? That's $100,000. $80,000, a Check A, about $12,000. You're going to go get Check C. That is wonderful. Many people have gotten over $150,000. It's average about $45,000. And it's huge. Many viewers have gotten it as an MSC. $2,000 a month over 12 months. Go get it. How do you do it? You know the routine. First, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Then join the channel. Become a member. Then go down the newsletter. You find Check C. And it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. And viewers have been getting Check C for a very long time on this channel. Let's look at some of those incredible success stories for Check C. Do you want these sums of money for rent? Then go get Check C. Huge. From Nisi all the way up to Elizabeth, it's about $30,000. And what about utilities? That one viewer you saw just a second ago got 12 months of utilities just last week. And here is Nancy, Mark, and Angela. Mark's on the clock at $15,000. He also got $250,000 for SNAP over 10 years. Here's some other success stories. These are just some of the success stories, not all of them, just some of them. And then what about this graphic? The combination of checks. Nisi was at $23,000. She went to $50,000. Mark was at $32,000. He went to $166,000. There's Lorraine. She'll go back to her in a second. He went to this graphic, 50, then to 100, then he got Check B, 166. Here's Lorraine. She was at 105. She went to 155. Incredible success stories across the board. What's the common story among Lorraine, Johnny, Nisi, Margaret, Nancy, and others? One, they keep on getting checks. You want to get a check today, get another check. I don't care how small or how big your success story has been, keep on getting checks. Number two, you got to watch all the videos. I mean, you absolutely have to watch all the videos. Because imagine if you hadn't watched a video since Wednesday. You miss this video, you miss any of the videos today, and you miss this smorgasbord of data and then all this conflicting analyst stuff. You will literally be left out catching up. I had to catch up. And my preparation for today's videos was double the time frame it usually is. You can see how big the notes are for just today's recording because there's so much that one data point caused so much confusion. So subscribe. First, go into this video, hit that subscribe button. Then go into this video, join and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Calcino VIP. And third, hit that bell at the front of the channel to make sure all your notifications are all on. You're watching LALATE, the #3 most watched financial news channel in America, on fire to become #2. The back end build out of LALATE 2 and LALATE 3 is going really well. So they're getting closer to finishing really across the board. 2 new channels coming to this family. Plus, the live show on this channel is now 24/7, as you now saw overnight. And LALATE.com, the news site that started all nearly 20 years ago, now features the latest news on your money. And there's just so much excitement coming to this channel. I want you part of this incredible family. Become a member. And with that, let's go back to the latest details on why analysts can't agree upon this economy. Are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? And why can't they agree upon it? And what should you be doing when looking at the data? And what should you be doing with your money? Let's go over what's at issue. And I'll go over first data, and then we'll go over my analysis that maybe you agree with, maybe you don't. But ultimately, we have to err on conservativeness. First, when we look at the earnings recession, I don't agree with the analysts. In fact, their data is wrong. That 75% of S&P companies reported beats in their corporate earnings for second quarter over the last 3 weeks. Yes, that's data correct. That data is correct. But it's the beating of downward guided earnings. You're missing half the sentence, folks. You're not missing. They're missing half the sentence. The company's downward guided before they announced their earnings. So it would normally be the $10 quarter. They said, no, we're struggling. It's going to be $5. And then they come in at $6. It's not like they came in at $10. They beat the downward guidance. So that's what that data is. Number 2, they were all the wrong analysts trying to tell you that inflation had peaked. They all tried to do that all last week. I said inflation's not peaked. We now have Bauman speaking yesterday. That Fed governor says inflation's not peaked. There's no indication because the inflation has peaked. The PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditure Index, released a week ago last Friday, shows inflation's gone higher. We don't have to guess. We'll watch it on August 10th on this channel when we see that CPI print for the month of July. My prediction is it's higher. There's no indication that inflation has peaked. Now, let's go to the data, and then we'll do the analysis for recession. What is the 2 data points for recession right now? 1, the inversion curve. The bond traders are inverting the inversion curve more pronounced, more seriously, because they believe a recession's going to hit, and it's going to be a worse recession than initially thought. So that's data. I mean, that's not analysis. The inversion curve is more inverted. And why is that happening? Because of analysis. The bond traders believe it's going to be a much more serious recession. Number 2, the oil traders. The price of gasoline when I last was with you on Thursday was, I think it was like 104 or 105 international price of Brent crude. It's now 98. Why has it fallen so fast, so quickly? It fell exactly when this number came out for the non-farm payroll. When the number came out and it showed the labor number for unemployment was the best since 1969, the oil traders determined that the Federal Reserve is going to spike on those interest rates a lot higher and a lot more. Let's pause there. Everyone now agrees the Federal Reserve is going to do that. Everyone now agrees on it. There's no disagreement on the analysis on that front. They all believe the Federal Reserve is going to keep on spiking and spike higher and spike more pronounced. It's just, what does that mean that they're going to do that? Well, the oil traders say that means we're going into a recession. That means we're going into a recession. So we have oil traders and bond traders and myself all saying there's a recession coming, and now saying it's going to be a much more serious recession. And then we have equity traders saying, no, it's a really strong market because the companies are beating on the numbers. They're beating on the downward guided numbers. The labor numbers are really strong. Well, yeah, but that's not how a recession works, because labor doesn't fall apart at the front of a recession. Labor falls apart at the back, at the end of a recession. Some of the stuff, is almost not disputable. So it's a little problematic that I have to explain it. That I have to explain such basic stuff that most people analysts should know on Wall Street. They're paid big bucks to know this, and they're not. Yeah, they're saying certain things. So let me give you my analysis. This is purely analysis of why this economy is doing this. Let me give you my analysis. First, I'll give you the 3 data points that I'm basing my analysis on: the credit card debt levels, the credit card debt interest rate that they're paying, the labor rate increases year per date, and the historical data. So that's the data I'm going off of. Okay, what's my analysis? Consumers are spending at rapid sums of money. That's data supported. They are running up credit card debt we've not seen in 20 years. That's data supported. And that the credit card debt they're running up is now carrying a credit card rate that is much higher than anything we've seen in many years, because the Federal Reserve keeps on raising those rates. And the Federal Reserve keeps on raising the rates, and the credit card rate that they're paying for their debt is going to keep on going up. Does this end good? No, it ends really badly. Spend, 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 put it on the credit card. Spend, 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 put it on the credit card. Oh, credit card is now really big. The rate is really big. The rate is getting worse. I'm not making more money at work to afford all this credit card debt. I had the same job. The job's not paying me more money. How do I pay the credit card debt? Yeah, you see how this ends. It ends really badly. And that is my analysis situation, that people are running up too much credit card debt to pay for items that would have normally been $2 last year and now $4. And they're running up the credit card debt saying, I'll just pay $4 for the thing that was $2. And they think they can keep on doing that. They have too much faith in their debt spending, and that when that doesn't hold together, yeah, you're not doing that. You are not doing that. You're not running up credit card debt on my watch. No way, no how. You're not running up credit card debt with Jay Powell doing those interest rate spikes that I told you he was not done, and so did Daley, and so did Fed Governor Daley, and so did Fed Governor Bullard. Told you last week, and now the third governor yesterday said, yeah, there's a lot of interest hikes done. Who told you we're done? Lot to go over. That's why I had to get a forced stimulus check in every USA. You need to get the forced stimulus check in every USA because if the goods you're buying at the store are $2 right now, $4 right now from $2 last year, they're going to stay at $4. They may go to $5. There's no indication they're going down. And just because gasoline's gone down, the consumer goods are not going to go down, nor is travel or leisure or anything like that across the board. Become a member. If you're watching the show live when it airs, then when it airs initially in the morning, then you'll be transferred into noontime coming up at 11 o'clock. Get these big forced stimulus checks across the board. Great news on your benefits lifts. Yes, that's great news. It's a big weekend. We're just getting started. New show for afternoons at 3 o'clock today as well. Become a member. Get these incredible sums of money. You deserve this money across the board. You need to be ahead of the equation because this is a very, very confusing economy. We all agree across the board. It's a confusing economy. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for your all incredible, nice comments during my absence over the last few days. I'll try to respond to each of you one at a time through social media over the next few days. Stay informed and stay focused. God bless you all. Become a member and stay with LA for more.